Okay, 1915. Good luck. Wow, we played 7 times before. Could have been in any time control. Opponent, nearly 10,000 games of rapid. Let's stick to the Carol. Just deciding whether to play the Carol or the Sicilian. I've got nearly 1,200 games of rapid now. Okay, you can pretty much pre-move d5, but you don't need to, being a slow rapid game. The bishop up. Okay, now what do I want to do? e6 is the correct principal move. You want to stop white playing e6, so I think we'll play it now, and then maybe pawn up, or trade first. So opponent knows the opening theory here. If checks, we can always block. Okay. So it's fine to play knight up, fine to play knight across, fine to take. What do I want to do? You can also do this and check him back as well. Let's take the pawn. I might do that. If I've got knight up, I've got knight across with the other knight to come across, and then this one to go here. It's possible. Oh, he's gone for the check. Okay, so we need to block. So we can just take here. So we can play bishop around the angles to pressure the pawn. We might as well develop the knight. Develop the knight. Now we could do this and go for the pawn here. Try and plant the knight. That could be useful actually, couldn't it? So we can develop our rook first, but then you've got bishop across. So here, the immediate rook across. I'm not worried about this idea because we don't really need to castle now the queen's off. So here, rook across, and then quickly target this. I think we've played this before, so let's play it again. It might pan out to be not a lot, but we're going to try and put the knights this side. So knight in and bring the other knight across. Then try not to lose these pawns if we can help it. Or maybe just keep the king here. Maybe you don't need a castle. We'll see what white does. White has. Let's go in then, hit the bishop, and then we're preparing pawn up. And we need to get this other knight in. I could maybe play f6, I guess. I guess we could consider f6 and chip away here before f4 can come. So f6, take, we then create a weakness here. But it chips away at this structure. Otherwise, we might just bring the knight across something like this, pawn up. Then eventually, he'll just try and get rid of this pawn and get rid of these. So, gone back over. Okay, well, that gives me a very natural development move to come here and potentially attack the bishop. There's no obvious jump with the knight right now to target here. But we can potentially go here. We might just go here, pawn up. And then try and slowly work on targeting this pawn. Oh, he's gone back to trade the knight. Okay, so here, and my knight across. But then he can push, right? So what about if I play knight e then to hit the bishop? And if he takes, we can take, but he can check. That's problematic. So here, if he takes, we can take with a rook. He then goes back. Yeah, I don't like that. Maybe I just bring the king here, or we just castle now. Does it matter? Does it matter? What about knight here to go here? But it gives him rook across. But equally, if I move the knight somewhere else, we target this pawn. You don't have bishop back to defend it. So knight here. But then eventually he can push, right? But knight here. Say the rook across. Knight across. Can you just ignore it and push? But then we target this pawn. I'm going to do that. I don't know if it's good enough, but I'm just creating a general attack to the pawn with a view to this knight coming across, maybe like this. And then I'm just debating whether to still castle or just leave the king in the center of the board. So he has indeed gone across. So I think we come here, and if you push, can we just take, threatening a check? It looks like it, doesn't it? So knight across. Oh, he has. Has he blundered then? He's moved instantly, hasn't he? So has he blundered there? Why can't we just take the pawn, threatening check? Surely we can. So we threaten check to hit the rook and the bishop. We threaten this pawn now. So take. Everything could trade off. Oh, he's gone for it. Oh, that's got to be a blunder. We just check and win the rook. In fact, it's probably better to take with the rook than it forces the other rook off. He's going to get a planted pawn, so we could actually just take the free bishop. Does it matter? No, I think we should get the rook off. Let's get the rook off. He's going to get a planted protected pawn though, so it's actually dangerous. We might have to give up the knight for a pawn if we can do that, of course, if he doesn't find a way to blast through. So I need to get my pieces back now. So let's bring the knight back and attack the bishop. Then try and bring the other knight back and prepare to sack here. If he deviates, we can grab this pawn. That's what he's done. So that should be better for us because it weakens this, even if we lose this one. I don't think we need to think too much there. I think we just get rid of this pawn, then that one should fall. Should do. Doesn't mean it will, but should. So it takes. We've got knight back, bishop back. Knight here, bishop here. But we can probably safely castle or bring the king in front of the pawn now. As long as the knight doesn't get jumpy and kick us out. He's attacked our knight, so we can go here and attack his knight. Or we can just come here. So here, I guess that makes sense. The only thing... No, I think it's fine. Because you've got this move to kick our knight, but we just take this one. He's got to try and keep the pieces on the board because he's a rook down. We've got a spare rook in the corner if we can just get it into the game. We're threatening pawn up here as well to kick this bishop. We just got to avoid some sort of tricks allowing a queen. So here, if I go here now, there's nothing, is there? We can go here first and kick the bishop though. Then that stops the knight jumping here. Then king up, activate the rook. Try and win the pawn. Okay, so king up now, there's no trick. So king up, activate the rook, and we're going to try and win this pawn if we can. I could have played pawn up here immediately to kick the bishop back, but now I've got my king here, it's an actual threat. Go here, drive the bishop back somewhere, then collect, and that's got to be winning, right? And just take the pawn. We're still a clean rook up. And we're 2 pawns up actually, aren't we? Well, 1 pawn up, we're going to be 2 pawns up. So just got to watch out for these tricks. So here he can take, we can take. Here, if he takes us, we can take and guard. And if he plays a move like this, doesn't really matter if we lose a pawn. Any reason to do anything else? Like maybe f6 first. So if you play this, the position doesn't completely collapse. Then knight back. Actually, I like that. I'm going to go here first, a view to knight coming back. So that's what he's gone for. Play knight back, pile all the pressure in on this pawn. He's got no knight check, well, unless he sacks. We're threatening just to collect now, and then eventually we'll get the rook into the game. We've got 6 minutes to figure it out. Yeah, 6 minutes should be enough. Doesn't mean we can't mess it up, of course. Of course we can. So he does pile the pawn forward. So it's got to be right to take now and get rid of that really serious threat. Now he'll know not to trade. He shouldn't trade here. He might do, but he knows not to. So now we're going to activate the rook and threaten to get the rook into the game. Okay, hits the pawn, but it is protected unless we move this knight. Actually, I could start marching here, but lets him in though potentially. So what's wrong with just pushing the pawn? It's under attack, so push it. He's given me knight in here to hit 2 pieces. Even if we lose a pawn, that should be very good. One of his pieces is going to come off the board. He's got no knight check or bishop check. Even if he wins a pawn, it really doesn't matter. But we can just simplify the position down. That should be winning. And indeed, so we get a little bit of luck with that one. But let's see what it was in engine speak. Pause so we don't accidentally start another game. And it's 34 moves. They're the move times for both players. Our opponent's probably already analysing this one, so let's just see if we've got any opening mistakes in particular. That's what we're trying to learn from these games, but let's just see. So we're basically about level in the first 13 moves, and we just build a gradual advantage, little bits of ups and downs, 97, 87 on the accuracy, but nothing being flagged, as you see, really from either player, from all these opening moves, just common sense development moves in the carreau. So he went for the queen check first, so queen block was good, knight was good, bishop check and take was good, as was rook c8. Knight across and knight to c4 was good. And here we're just half a point better at amateur level, it's still basically level. Rook across to pressure our pawn. The idea is to try and do this and stop this blasting through. and just not obviously give our pawns away, and eventually target this. That's what we were aiming for. Knight back, knight a3 was a good move, but here I should have just played the immediate b6 instead of knight across to c6. But he blunders with c4, allowing the knight in, and then he's just moved instantly, hasn't he? He moved instantly there, like within a second, didn't think, and then it's allowed us to get 2 rooks for the price of 1. Then it's just a case of not blundering, basically getting this pawn through to a queen. But we've managed to find good moves here, just common sense development moves. And eventually we get to this position where we can force a piece off the board, and you know, it's going to be rook and knight against the bishop. It should be too much. Even if we lose a pawn here, it doesn't really matter. There's no real threat there. So it is what it is, but a good win.